You can use Amazon FBA to quit your 9-to-5 job, and I can say that because I've done it. My name is Christian, and I've generated over $3 million on Amazon over the past 2.5 years. I started this business when I was working a 9-to-5 job as a mover, and within 4 months, I was able to quit that job and go all in with Amazon. I teach you guys that same exact model that I used to escape my 9-to-5 job, and that same model that I still use today to make my full-time income. It's called online arbitrage, and that's where we buy and sell name brand products on Amazon. We use discount codes to get it cheaper, and we sell it for a profit. So follow along this video, take notes, and learn how to actually start this business.
All right, guys, before we go deeper into sourcing and using the tools, you have to understand how selling on Amazon actually works. You're gonna hear two terms thrown around, and that's gonna be FBA and FBM. We're gonna start with FBA, which means, as you can see on the screen, fulfilled by Amazon. So pretty much what that means is you buy your products from Walmart, Target, Walgreens, wherever, and you send them into your Amazon fulfillment centers. Once those products officially check in, Amazon takes care of everything else: customer service, shipping, storage, even customer returns, literally all of it. That's a big reason a lot of people use FBA, is because everything is automated. FBM, on the other hand, is fulfilled by merchant. That's where you'll handle everything that Amazon would have handled in FBA. With FBM, you'll store your own inventory, pack each order, and ship it to the customer. Using FBM, you have more control with where the product is packed and how it goes out. And sometimes the margin is even higher because you're skipping the FBA fees. But with a slightly higher margin, you also are a lot more hands-on. Here's how I like to break it down. FBA is for automation and scaling. FBM is for control and flexibility. Most sellers, especially in arbitrage, whether it's retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, mainly go with FBA because it gives them the opportunity to scale. When shipping with FBA, you also get the Prime badge, which allows 2-day shipping and sometimes even same-day shipping. You also get a lot more time to source and find product when using FBA. And another benefit to using FBA is the products can be selling even while you're sleeping, which is a goal for many people, to make money while they sleep. In short, it's a system that lets you grow and scale while not having to handle the day-to-day. There are some benefits to using FBM, and that's when you're shipping items like hazmat items or overweight items, and that's because Amazon will incur a much larger fee. You could also use FBM if you're just trying to test out a product to see how it'll sell, but you do have to note that FBA will always sell better because it's shipped with Amazon and they can ensure that the product will get to the customer on time. I'd say about 95% of arbitrage sellers do use FBA because it's the most predictable and scalable way to sell on Amazon. Now that you know how the Amazon fulfillment system works and what business model you'll be running, it's time to actually set up your Seller Central account. You'll start off by going to sell.amazon.com and signing up. You'll hear me mention Seller Central a lot because this is where you'll do everything with your business, whether it's creating shipments, tracking payouts, and creating listings. When you actually get signed up, Amazon will give you 2 options for which account you want to open, and that's going to be between an individual seller account and a professional seller account. The individual account doesn't come with a monthly subscription fee, but every item you sell, Amazon charges you 99 cents. That might not sound like a lot right now, but we're going to scale you up to doing over 1,000 units a month, and that 99 cents per item sold is not going to be fun to pay. The professional account, on the other hand, charges you $39.99 per month, but you don't get charged 99 cents for every item you sell. If you're truly serious about opening this online business, which you obviously are because you're watching this course, just take my word for it and go with the professional account. You get so many more features with the professional account. You unlock bulk listing. You're able to actually be eligible for the buy box. You'll be able to apply to sell brands that you're restricted in. And overall, you just get so much more control. You're building an online business, not testing a hobby. So treat it like that from day one. When creating the account, Amazon's going to ask you for some documentation, such as your name, phone number, address, license, and a recent bank or credit card statement. And something to take into account is that everything has to match. Whatever address your ID has on it has to match your bank. Otherwise, Amazon could flag your account for further verification. So just double check your details before submitting. Next, Amazon will ask for your tax information, and that's going to be your social security number, or if you already have an LLC set up, that would be your EIN. This connects to your payouts, so every 2 weeks, once you start selling, Amazon will send those payouts into that account. Once you're approved, you'll land inside Seller Central. It looks overwhelming at first, but you'll get the hang of it. This is just a general view of what Seller Central has to offer, and this is the main backend system that Amazon uses. At first, you're only going to use a few tabs in Seller Central, but it's a good idea to go through all of them and fully understand what Seller Central has to offer. Starting out, you're most likely going to be looking at ad products, looking at your shipments, managing your orders, and managing your inventory. It's pretty easy to get the hang of, and we'll go into a further in-depth video of that in my paid course. So once Amazon approves your account, you officially own an Amazon business, which is a pretty big deal. And from here, it's just about learning the skills, learning all the tools, understanding the numbers, and eventually finding products that you can make profit on consistently. When you start selling on Amazon, they restrict a lot of brands and categories. It's not personal. It's just so that Amazon can ensure the products you're selling are authorized and from a legitimate distributor. The way to get ungated would be by submitting invoices from your distributor you bought the products from. And I'll show you guys an example of that in this video. So when you go to add your products on Seller Central, you'd paste your ASIN in right here. You'd click the product, and you could see right here it says you need approval to list in this brand. And the way you can submit for an ungate is by going to the actual ASIN, and you can see on SellerAmp right here it says eligible is no, and you can see the eligibility right here says restricted, and you press manual ungate. It'll take you to a screen right here, and you can request approval. On average, most brands will ask for 10 units to get ungated, but bigger name brands like this here, they're asking for 300 units. Pretty much what you want in your invoice is dated on or after April 11th, includes your name, address, matching the information in your selling account. That's a very important step. The address that you ship the products for an ungate to have to be the address that's matching in your account. You have to include the name and address of the manufacturer or distributor, show the combined purchase of at least 300 units. Usually it'll be 10. Is not a retail order confirmation or invoice. So they're not looking for order confirmations or receipts. They're looking for official invoices that display all of this information. So as far as an invoice goes, I know a lot of these brands you guys will be ordering from will just send you an order confirmation email. And pretty much they are looking for a professional looking invoice. They just want to see something that looks verifiable. So if your business name matches, your supplier is good, and everything checks out, they will approve you. So don't think of ungating as a roadblock to your business. It's really just something you have to check off and purchase units from the distributor and submit for approval. Every approval you get gives you access to more profitable products and different categories to sell in. There's a lot of money in categories such as health and wellness, toys, grocery, beauty, and a lot of these categories are gated for beginners, but it's really simple to just purchase from somewhere like Frontier Co-op for grocery, and they send you invoices and you just submit the invoices of 10 units and you'll get ungated and approved. Once you're ungated in the main categories, your sourcing becomes a lot easier because now you can buy and resell things that everyone wants to, but they can't because they're gated. Once you do it a few times, it's just click, upload, and get approved. Do it once or twice and you'll never really stress about it again. So this is Boxum, and pretty much is a tool that streamlines your shipments and shows you detailed analytics, but they just came out with a new feature that allows you to do bulk ungating. I dropped a link below this school post, so you guys are going to want to sign up and follow along. When you sign up, you're going to want to come over and sync your analytics with Amazon, and then you're going to come over to the inventory tab, and from here, you're simply going to the bulk ungating option, and this screen will appear, and you'll come down and you'll press the check suggested ASINs button. Once you click that, all these products will start appearing. And these are products that you can list and sell on your storefront right away without ever having to submit invoices. You can see right down here, Boxum is sorting through 1,784 different products. So this is a super good way, especially if you're just starting out, guys. The link I dropped below if you're looking to sign up. So it's important to understand the difference between return on investment and profit margin. Your profit margin is how much money you keep after all costs are deducted. That's counting the Amazon fees, your shipping fees, your prep fees, everything. Whereas ROI, return on investment, tells you how much money your investment made relative to what you spent. So to give just an easy example, let's say you buy a toy for about $8 and on Amazon you sell it for $20. Amazon fees will say take $6 in total. So you take your $20 sale price minus $8 cost because you bought it for $8, and you also have to minus the $6 in fees, which leaves you left with $6 profit. That's going to be a 75% return on investment. And that means for every dollar you spend, you're getting $1.75 back. So what exactly is a good return on investment? And that is completely up to the seller. I like to keep mine around 30% minimum. And as you can see on SellerAmp, this is under 30%. And so it shows red. If it was over 30%, it would show green. And it's a good rule of thumb to just, if it's below your return on investment, it's below your personal threshold, don't buy it, just skip. Some sellers do take a smaller return on investment, and that's usually if the product sells super quick. They know they can put the product in and they'll get their money back relatively quick. The goal is to balance speed and profit. Sometimes a 20% return on investment on a product that sells 10,000 times a month is worth it compared to a product that's 60% return on investment and only sells 5 times a month. Now we're going to talk about the Amazon fees, and this is something that a lot of beginners kind of skip over, and it really is what makes or breaks your profit when it comes to Amazon. A lot of beginners just assume, okay, I bought the item for $10 and I sold it for 20, so now my profit is $10, which is not the case at all, and I'm going to break it down for you right here. So as you can see, the three main types of fees when using Amazon is the referral fee, the FBA fee, and the storage fee. And so pretty much the referral fee is Amazon's commission. And so that's the fee you get charged for selling your products on the Amazon platform. And that's usually 15% of your sale. The next fee would be the FBA fee. And that's if you do FBA, as I mentioned in the previous videos, there are less fees when it comes to doing fulfilled by merchant. And that's because you avoid these FBA fees. So the FBA fee is pretty much the fee you're getting charged for them picking, packing, and shipping your items for you. And on average, it's about $3 to $6. It's also based on size. So the smaller the item and the lighter it is, you'll be charged less. If it's a bigger and bulkier item, you'll be charged more. The last one would be the storage fee, and Amazon charges you a monthly warehouse fee for storing your items in their fulfillment centers. It's not that much. It is really only pennies per unit, except if you have a lot of units sitting there and they're not selling quickly, then it will add up. Just to show a little bit of an example, let's say you buy a product for $10 and you sell it on Amazon for $25. They're going to take their referral fee, which is 15%, and that's going to be $3.75. And the FBA fee might be around $4.50, depending on the size, as I mentioned. Bigger items, you will be charged a higher fee. Your total Amazon fees are about $8.25. You sold for $25 minus $8.25 in fees, minus your $10 cost, and you're left with $6.75 in profit. With a product selling for $25, that's a 67% ROI, which is really good. I like to usually keep around 25 to 30% ROI, and I like to keep my profit margin around 10%. But this is why using SellerAmp is so important, because it calculates all those fees for you, and it makes it a lot easier to just understand how much you're going to be getting charged in the Amazon fees. I'll give you guys an example of that right now. So once you come to SellerAmp, you'll paste in the ASIN that you're looking to purchase. And let's say we have a cost price of $25. It'll tell you right away if you're making any money. It'll tell you your profit margin, your return on investment, and the break-even price that you'd have to sell at if you were trying to just break even and liquidate the product. So if I sold at $40.52, I'm making $0 in profit. So you can scroll down here and you can see the total fees are right here. You click down, you can see the referral fee is charging $6.08. The FBA fee is $7 on this one, and that's because you can actually see the product is larger. If you hover over this little box here on SellerAmp, it'll tell you the weight and dimensions of the product, and you can see that this one is 3.5 pounds just about. And so the FBA fulfillment fee is going to be a little bit higher. And then I have my prep fee inputted, and they also charge you an inbound shipping fee. And that's when you ship to Amazon. They charge an inbound transportation shipment fee, which is usually right around $1 per unit when you send it in. And that's how you can kind of see exactly how much you're getting charged in fees with the product you're selling. The beauty of using SellerAmp is it does it all for you. So if we got this for $20, we'd sell it for, whatever price we'd have to sell it at, and it'll tell you exactly I'm making $4.55 per unit, and my profit margin's 11%. My return on investment is 22%. And the only reason it's red right here is because I have my minimum ROI on SellerAmp set to 30%, because I like to aim a little bit higher and try to squeeze out as much as I can. So once you come into Sellerboard, you're going to be able to see the exact fees that you're getting charged and exactly how much, which is why it's super important to connect Sellerboard when creating your seller account. So it's really important to understand the fees. That way you're not just looking at a product, thinking it's a good deal, making the purchase, and at the end of the day, you realize you're not even making any money on it. So some products you could find for $5 and you'd see on Amazon it might sell for $10. And if you do the math with all the fees, you wouldn't actually even be making any money. You could be losing money. So that's why it is very important to understand the fees. Always input it into SellerAmp. To sum it up, the main fees are FBA fees, the storage fees, and the referral fee. Altogether, they usually land somewhere between 25 and 30% of your selling price. And your job as a seller is to make sure after all those fees, you still have a solid return on investment with your product. So we're going to talk about how to read a Keepa chart, and I'm going to show you an example of a good Keepa chart and a bad Keepa chart. That way you can kind of understand the differences between the two. I know it's a lot to take in right now, but I'm going to break it down. So the first line up here is just the price of the buy box. So that's the price that people are usually selling at. So the buy box is, if you scroll up, you could see this person is winning the buy box at this time. And that just means when a customer goes to buy this product, they go right here and they'll press buy now and it'll be sold by this person right here. The buy box switches between sellers all the time, and you can see that on the Keepa chart with the price here. You could see different sellers are popping up here, and that just means that different sellers are winning the buy box. You can also see the ones in blue are FBM, fulfilled by merchant, and then the ones in orange are fulfilled by Amazon. So we're going to talk about this middle line here. It's going to actually tell you how fast the product is selling and at which point. So if you hover over, it's selling 5,000 times a month, and this was in August, and it dipped down to 2,000 times a month. But you can see back in December of last year, it was selling 8,000 times a month. So it's really important to understand this because you can kind of plan when to purchase the product. I'd say possibly in November because you know that it's going to start selling quickly in December. Based on data, you could see even back here years ago as well, it started selling 10,000 times a month. And this line just gives you a general idea of how fast the product is selling. And the last line down here is going to tell you offer counts, and that's how many people are selling the product. If you see a squiggly line like this, it's going up and then dropping down frequently. That's a good sign because that means sellers are selling out of their product. So this is a good example of a good Keepa chart. You could see this, the price is pretty stable. It's not jumping too much, and you can see sellers are selling out rather quickly, but you just want to be careful of this as well. If you scroll through here, you can see the price is starting to lower. People are starting to sell at a lower price, and it's starting to sell a little bit slower as well. And that's just something you have to take into account when reading these Keepa graphs. This would be an example of a bad Keepa chart. And pretty much you can see the price was holding pretty decently high, and you can see a ton of people just jumped on it right away, and instantly the price started tanking. And so you want to avoid ones where you see the offer count skyrocket up because you know that means a lot of sellers just jumped on and the price is going to tank a lot lower. So another example of a bad Keepa chart would be if the offer count is super stagnant like this. And that just means there are people selling it. You can see there's 4 offers on it, but nobody is selling out. Once you've looked through hundreds of Keepa charts, you'll be able to recognize the patterns relatively quickly. For me, I don't even have to see the product. I could just look at the Keepa chart and I'd be able to tell you whether or not it's a good buy. So we've talked about what makes a good product, and now I'm going to show you exactly how to find these products and pretty much how to source. The first method I recommend for beginners is reverse sourcing. So instead of starting on a random website and hoping to find a profitable product, you're actually going to start on Amazon. So you're going to want to go on Amazon and search up a product that you are looking to sell. So as an example, I'm using these Nike socks. And you're going to scroll down and you'll be able to come across right here, other sellers on Amazon. You'd click that. And from here, you can see all the other sellers that are selling this product. And you would just go to their storefront. You'd visit their storefront right here. And it'll list out all the products they're selling. If you come across something you want to try and sell, you just go to the listing, wait for it to load up. And you're going to want to click your SellerAmp and let that open up. And once your SellerAmp opens up, you're going to actually come across these buttons here. Search for product title on Google. You're going to want to press that. And this is where you'll search for the supplier of this product. So as you can see, it's selling here on Best Buy for $14.99. If you were to plug that into the SellerAmp, you'd see that it is not a good product. But this doesn't just mean that that's the only supplier. You're going to want to source through Google and try to find authorized distributors of this product. That way you can try to get that price down. So if we go back over here, we can look at more of what they're selling. So we'll take a look here at this product, and depending on the Keepa charts and everything, if everything looks good, you just click on the product, wait for your SellerAmp to load. You'll see it's selling for around $67 to $74 depending on the size. You'd press Google. If you're coming into here, you could try and find a supplier that's going to have this product for cheaper. So another way to source is by actually going to a brand website and going through their catalog. You can see this brand here is buy two, get one free right now. You could go to their catalog and find the product you're looking to sell. So as an example, let's say this top product right here, you'd press it. And from there, you'd press the SellerAmp extension. And this is going to show this product and if it's listed on Amazon. So you press the SellerAmp, and right here, it's going to pull up this product here. And it is here on Amazon. You'd hover over it and you'd press open Amazon product page, and it would take you to the product page. And from here, you'd be able to enter in your costs and you'll be able to know if it's profitable. So 67.46, 67.46. It is not profitable, but as you could see, the website was running a buy two, get one free. So you could always add 3 into your cart and calculate the price that way. And this is just a pretty simple way to start sourcing. You could go to any brand website, look through their catalog, and you press the SellerAmp extension, and it'll bring up exactly those listings on Amazon. Another way to source is through the Keepa product finder, and that's by going to keepa.com, going to the product finder tab. And I know there's a lot of options here. I'm not going to go into all of it. I do go into a much more in-depth version of this in my paid course. So you could come down and start filling out the filters depending on what product you're looking for. So as an example, the buy box, let's say you're looking for a product between $50 and $60. So you'd enter that. You'd come down to Amazon, and typically you don't want to be selling on a listing with Amazon because Amazon usually does win the buy box. So you're going to want to press Amazon out of stock, and you'll scroll down and there's, as you can see, a ton of filters. If you're looking for a specific category, you could fill in this category right here. As an example, we'll just do books. There's a whole bunch of filters you can go through, and you can pretty much specify exactly what you're looking for. So as an example, let's say total offer count. You want to look for a product that doesn't have a lot of people on it. Let's say a maximum of 10 other sellers and at least a minimum of 3, because you don't want it to just have one seller on it. Usually that's just the brand, and that runs the risk of getting an IP complaint from that brand. If you notice nobody else is selling that listing, you probably shouldn't either. So once you fill in these filters here, you can scroll down and filter out even more if you like, but that's just a simple example, and you press find products based on that criteria you filled in. And if you just hover over, you can kind of see the Keepa graph down at the bottom. This one looks decent because there's some price movement and you can see that people are selling out. You'd look here and you could just take this exact title and paste it into your Google, and you can find this exact product on Google and try to find a supplier for it that way. If something isn't looking right to you and you want to change your criteria, you can just go to the advanced filter and you can change anything you need.
If you love this type of content and you're actually learning and you want that one-on-one personal handheld guidance directly from me, there's a link down below you can check out for my one-on-one coaching.
So now we're going to do a live sourcing session just so you guys can kind of get an idea of how I do it and how I've trained my VAs to do it. So usually I'll start out on Amazon. So let's just start out as an example. We'll just do grocery and we'll look through here. You can hover over things and you'll see the Keepa charts down there. Looks like these almonds, 18 packs of these almonds. Let's just go and look here real quick. So I see right away, it looks like Amazon is the only person selling it. There's nobody, no other offers on here other than Amazon. You can see they are holding the price consistently. So I would just jump out of this and move to the next product. I'm going to switch to health and household, or health and beauty rather. So we can see 2 other people are selling this at this time, but it looks like Amazon is holding the buy box on that one. So we'll just jump out of there. It's Bloom Nutrition. Looks like Amazon was on this and not many people are hopping on it. You'll see here it'll come up with private label. This product has few historic sellers, which is a sign it could be private label. You want to be careful of these certain listings right here where there's just one person on it at all times. That's usually the brand, and you could be getting IP'd if you hop on it. But for the sake of this video, let's see. The regular price is usually $29.98. There's just a prime deal going on. Okay, so we can see the product is right here. And the way to get these profitable is by using discount codes, cashback, things like that. So we can see here's a one-time purchase, but if we go to subscribe and save, it makes our product a little bit cheaper, which is exactly what we're looking for. What I like to do is add a few to the cart, make sure I earn free shipping, and I go to checkout. So from here, I'd scroll down and try to find a discount code by using one of these, the Cooper, Capital One Shopping, or Coupon Birds. Click Coupon Birds. You could see all these coupon codes that have worked for people in the past. We'll try this one. Okay, so right away you can see we've already got our price down to $68. We'd be buying 3 units, 68. Let's see the exact price, 68.83 divided by 3 is $22, and we can see on Amazon it normally sells for $29.98. You could plug that in. You could see it is not profitable yet. We're going to need to find a better coupon code. So you can go through all of these. Coopert, it's going to have tons of 15% off. We know that a 15% isn't going to be good enough for us. So we could try this one. Welcome Kit 20. Is not valid for the items in the cart. That's pretty normal. So pretty much this is what I do. I go through and try to find coupon codes for all of them. So it looks like this one is not profitable even with the code 68.83 divided by 3. It's going to be too expensive. So we can just go back and keep sourcing. We'll go through. Let's see another one. These really popular ones are going to be pretty tough to get on because the brand themselves are mainly going to be selling it. So let's look here. You can see down at the bottom, the Keepa graph, it looks like that when it's shaded in orange like that, that just means Amazon is holding the buy box at that time. And we can see here that Amazon is holding the buy box majority of the time. So you just keep going through the pages, trying to hover over some, see some of the charts, and see if any look good to you. So I came across this one. I'm going to go to it. We see that it usually sells for $19.98. We'll take a look at the Keepa charts. See, the price is pretty average here. We could see an FBM seller was hopping on at it around $16.99. So we know that other people are selling it. We just want to take a look at the graph. We can see in the past, a ton of people were selling it at one point, up to 76 people, but right now it's kind of mellowed out. So from here, I would just go to search the product on Google. You can see right here, there is a sale going on with it. So we're going to go to the actual Her Fantasy Box website. You could see this is the brand right here, Her Fantasy Box Store by Her Fantasy Box Store. So we'll go to here. And this is really important to remember when sourcing products. If they offer something like 4 bottles, save $10, you're going to want to go with that because it's going to save you some cost. You could add it to your cart. It's $27 for 4. That's $6.75 per. You want to turn off the protection because that's an extra $5 that we don't need added to ruin our margin. From here, I could just, Cooper comes up with codes that it's suggesting already. So let's see if one of these works. You could just press test all and you can sit back and let them test all of them to see if any of them actually make a difference to the price. Okay, well, it looks like none on Cooper worked. So you could go through and do all of these as well. You could test multiple. You could use your Capital One save extension. But for the sake of this video, we're going to take the price as is. So $27.16 divided by 4 bottles, that's $6.79 per. Go back over to the listing. $6.79 per. It usually sells for $19.98, and that's $5 profit, a 25% profit margin, which is really good, and a 76% return on investment. So that right there is just an example of how I find some of the products that I'm sourcing and purchasing consistently. So from here, I could save this product and keep it on a sheet or a list of mine so I can look back at it and purchase it. I could also look through and see the sellers on here. This person here looks like they have 30 plus in stock. If I want to go see what else they're selling, I can go to their actual storefront. Looks like this is the only product they're selling. But we already know that this brand is offering that buy 4 bottles, save $10. So we can actually go to this brand and look at all the products they have to offer and try to match them up with the actual website over here. So let's just take this. Let's look over actually some. Two other sellers are on this one. Looks like it's actually just the brand. So this is one that you might want to watch out for. Yeah, if you look here, it looks like the brand is selling this one solely. So you might want to watch out about hopping onto this. Does look like it looks relatively safe. We can see that at one point in time, there were a ton of people on it, just like the other listing. We'll take a look here. You see there's a 3-pack right here. $19.03 for 3 of them. You want to make sure it's the same product. So right now it is a prime big deal sale. So usually it sells for $15.99. So if we got them for $19.03, let's do $19.03 divided by 3. That's $6.34 per. You could input that here. And it is not the best margin, but it is still $2.39 profit, a 37% return on investment, which is not bad at all. And it sells 10,000 times a month. So you know for a fact when you actually purchase this product and send it in, it will sell relatively quick, if not instantly. I could also go through Product Finder, Keepa Product Finder, and filter out everything. I know we talked about this in a previous video, but I will just do this live for you guys. I like to keep the price of my products a little bit high. So let's say 35 to 80 is good. We keep the sales rank from 1 to 100,000. Anything past 100,000 can still sell, but it is just not as popular in the Amazon catalog. Keep Amazon out of stock. We're going to source all categories, so I'm going to remove those filters right there. We want there to still be at least 3 people on it, anywhere between 3 and 30 people. I don't want to sell any ebooks or digital products. Did not even make a difference. Bought in the past month. Again, I'm trying to look for something that's selling pretty quick, but if we want to expand our search a little bit more, let's just drop that down to 500 bought in the past month. You can see 2,000 more products under this criteria just appeared. The item weight, I'm not too worried about. SellerAmp will be able to calculate those fees for me, so I just press Find Products. And from here, you just start hovering over and looking for a chart that looks decent. You want to see something that has a little bit of movement, not too much. Okay, so we look here, you can see there are people selling on it. It looks like at one point 17 other sellers were on it. It is dropping down a little bit, which is a good sign. That means people are selling out of the product they have. We'll see, we just want to be careful of this price is starting to drop down a little bit, but it looks like it's going back up. So we'll go from here. "12 light trap refill cartridges." Go to Google. So this is the official brand website, Zevo. So this would be 2 refills. We're looking for anywhere. We're looking for 12. So you could shop all. Doesn't look like they offer 12 refills on their website. So we'd have to actually look for the product on a different distributor. Right here, we see there is the Zevo refills on Sam's Club, it looks like. We know that that is a good distributor. It's for $33.98. You want to look through all of your cashback extensions and see which one offers the most. So this one here offers up to 30% cash back. That is really good. Top Cashback offers 15%, so you just weigh out whichever one's the best. You can't use multiple at the same time, obviously. You just have to pick whichever one's the best. So this here sells for $33.98 on Sam's Club. Right here, it sells for $44.89. We're going to want to probably get that down a little bit cheaper. So now I have the account set up, and you have to take into account sometimes they will incur a shipping fee or a service fee. So let's see if we can get free shipping if we up our quantity. So we'll just do 10. We'll go to the checkout. So it looks like Sam's Club doesn't even give you the option to put in codes. So that's probably not the best supplier to go through. So aside from this product, I'd probably just go back here and continue going through my Keepa. This one looks like it has a decent chart. Let's look at this one right here. We can see there are people getting on it, and we can see they are selling well because they sell out relatively quick. You can see the offer count jumps down. We see the brand is holding it around $32.99, but we still see that other people are winning the buy box at $46.89, and they actually are given the opportunity to sell this. It's not just being held by the brand the whole time. So this looks like a decent product. We'll go straight to Amazon. Yep, we'll see they're holding the buy box at $46.90. We could search the product on Google. It's a good idea to always look at the actual brand website first and see if you could find it profitable there. So we'll go over to shop. You see Build Your Packs has 20% off, so we can actually go to that. And we'll match it up to what the listing has, the lavender and rose, coconut vanilla, and cucumber and mint. There's coconut vanilla, cucumber mint, and it was lavender rose. You're going to go over to the checkout page. And from here, you can start applying some coupon codes, trying to get it a little bit cheaper, as cheap as you can. You can always just press apply all codes and just sit back and wait. Coupon birds does take a while. So it looks like Coupon Birds did not find any products, or any discount codes rather. We can look here on Coupert. Try Hain 10. There we go. So we've got one down to $28, and that's why it's so important to check all of these, not just using one. You have to check all the coupon codes because one of them might say that there is none, and the other one will have a working one. So So it looks like 28.08 is the price we can get it down to. So we just go back into here, plug it in, and you can see right there that's $5 profit, 20% return on investment, and the profit margin is decent at 12%. And that's if we're selling it at FBA. And like I said, there's different fees for FBM. So if you are going to sell it FBM, switch it to FBM. And your FBM cost depends on how heavy it is. So let's hover over. This is 12 ounces. That's on average. The FBM shipment cost will probably be around $7, $6 or $7, I'd say. And profit is relatively the same between the two just because of the shipping fee. So yeah, that is another product we've got here that's profitable. Do one final check on the charts. Looks good. And then I would just go over here, possibly add more to my cart and check out. All right, guys, so we're going to do another live sourcing here. We're just going to jump right into it. As you can see, it is October, so we are in Q4. So that means a lot of hoodies, things like that. We'll be selling because it's starting to get cold out. Look at this Carhartt beanie right here. Not beanie, sorry, the sweatshirt. Sure, this is the same thing. Rain Defender, loose fit, heavyweight. Loose fit, heavyweight, yum. See what size is this? Large. So we can scroll down and check the Keepa first. Looks like some people are winning it at $64.99 FBM. Oh, they don't do delivery, dang. Should have seen that first. So I'm looking at Champion now. Let's see if there's any Champion sales. So we see right now this is actually only $5 final sale. Open SellerAmp from here. Looks like it's only $10 anyway. Jump over and look for this hoodie as well. Looks like this is the same thing here. Let's look. Fleece midweight men's script logo tee. You just want to match it up to make sure it's the same exact thing. Granite heather. It's the same color. The only thing to be aware about is here you see Amazon is always holding the buy box, but right now they're out of stock. $17. It wouldn't be profitable at $9 either. And I know I added small to my cart. I just want to see if I can add in a coupon code. Looks like there isn't an option here. Looks like Amazon is on a lot of these champion listings. We do not want to compete with Amazon. So this guy somehow got it profitably, apparently, because he's selling on it. So what I'll do is just go directly to his storefront. We'll see what we can find from here. What's this for 128? A common shoe size with men is just 10. I always check that one first. $79. Moab 3. That's big kids. Is this even the same? Yeah, I guess it is. So what was different about this one? Yeah, it's the same. 7Y. Seven wide. Well, we can see this one doesn't sell as fast. It doesn't even have a badge, but let's see. Okay, so there are some people on here. Yep, and they are winning the buy box at 138.50, it looks like. Holy moly. Laces and eights. Yeah, he won the buy box at 138.50. I'm going to go over here, go to data, offers, include historical sellers, and see if they're selling any. So it looks like this guy has sold 186 in the past. This guy sold 50 of them. Zappos, 9. Yeah, I mean, we can see that definitely people are selling it. Yeah, Merrill, Moab, 3 hiking shoes. Wow. $49. Let's say, let's add 6 of these. Actually, I had 3 more to make it 10. Let's see if there's a discount code here. That would just make it all much better. Come on. Yep, there is. Wow. So at 119, we're getting them for $42.99. That's $50 profit per. And this guy's he was winning in at 138. $65 profit per. Say you bought 10 of them, you just made $650. $42.99. Well, I guess after shipping and everything, shipping estimate's free. $4.99. Okay, so it's $49.99. Proceed to checkout. Even so, $49.99 is, yeah, that's insane. Let's say we have to cut off Amazon a little bit, still $41 profit. That's really good. So that's one of them. What I'd do is take this, go down here, and I'd export it to my sheet. That way it's saved and I can always go back to it. So this guy, he's smart. Go back to this, visit his storefront. Okay, here's another one. Let's take a look at this. I have a feeling there is another sale here. Get it down to 109 on here. last one was on Sierra. These look pretty cool, except I'm not finding it on here. See, this is on sale right now, so it's pretty smart to go here, open up SellerAmp, and try to find this exact listing. Moab 2. $59.99. Let's see, it's a size 8 that's selling well. Let me cancel out the old one. Looks like this is our best one. It gives us the free shipping. So 10 units, it's still going to be $59. Not bad. Well, it's going to be $59.99, but I do have a prep fee in there, so I have $1 prep fee in there, so your guys's will look more like this, $7 profit. Let's just see. I mean, $89.99 is the price they're selling it at. We can see it's October right now, so let's go back to last October. See the price some people were holding it at. Oh, this is December. Okay, similar prices. You can see up in November and then December, someone won it pretty high up here. 117. Yeah, and you guys could always test out different heights. You could see at one point people were selling it at 102. But lately it's been pretty steady around $89.99, $84.99. So yeah, not bad, not bad. I wasted some time looking through those champion leads. It's actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to go back here. You can see, look directly on things that are on clearance. Reebok. $7.5. It's one on clearance. Is that a women's 7.5? Damn, that's gonna be small. 7.5 women. Nobody's actually even offering this right now. Let's see what price. Okay, yeah, it was selling at 55. And it was just Amazon that was on it. Looks like sellers like a long time ago, years ago, were selling this 74. And you could be the only one to offer it. It's still some $23 profit per, but it's just a matter of if it's actually going to even sell. So this is kind of, okay, right here. Let's see, what's this Carhartt? Big and tall rug professional. $102,538. You can see that right there. $102,538. This is the same thing. The blue one. Although they do have this one too. Large, tall, yeah. Sells pretty slow though, 17 a month. Oh, you can see people are actually starting to jump on it now. 54.85. Reebok, it's 22. Or not Reebok, sorry, the Carhartt right here. Yeah, so for 10 of them, it'd be, let's see, can you do more than 10? No, you cannot. Do 99. Oh, I guess only 10. So yeah, 10 would be $220. Let's see the code. Okay, Rakuten 89. Yeah, that's 22 bucks. It's $15 profit right there per sale. So we're going to talk about something that can pretty much add hundreds of dollars to your margin, and that would be cashback and coupon codes. So right now we're going to speak about cashback. These three extensions you're going to want to install on your computer: Rakuten, Top Cashback, and Be Frugal. This pretty much makes it so every time you go to a supplier's page and you're ready to check out, one of these will pop up and you will be given the option to use cashback. Not every supplier offers it, but most of them do. And you can only select one of them. So whichever one offers the most, it's going to look like Top Cashback might show 10%, Be Frugal might be 12%, Rakuten 5%. It just doesn't matter which one you select. You're just going to want to select the one that offers you the most cashback. The other thing you're going to want to install are these three extensions as well: the Coupon Birds, Capital One Shopping, and Coopert. Pretty much this is going to give you coupon codes, and this is a huge part of doing Amazon, is making sure you get the best price for the products you're buying, because if you get a cheaper price, your margin just goes up. So Coupon Birds and Capital One Shopping and Coopert, every time you go to a checkout, these will pop up. You can apply codes automatically. I'll show you guys an example here in a second. And you want to make sure that you actually get a good coupon code out of one of these. So as an example, when you come over and add the products into your cart on any of the brand's websites, this is what it will look like. You see 16 coupons found, 5 coupons found, and you could apply all of them as well. This brand does not offer cash back, but I will show you an example of what the cashback options look like now. So you can see I just went onto this website here, and instantly this comes up with Top Cashback 6%. You would just click that and it would activate. You can also check the other ones right here. Let me move myself. Be Frugal looks like it's not offering any cash back, and Rakuten is also not offering cash back. So you would just go to Top Cashback and pretty much select this, and your cashback would be enabled. And you could proceed from there. and simply just check out, apply your coupon codes, and make sure you're utilizing both coupon codes and cashback to just make your margin a whole lot better.
You now understand the entire foundation of how to set up the Amazon seller account, how to get approved to sell these name brand products, and how to actually source and find your own winning products. If you've gone through the entire video and you still feel like you need that one-on-one personal help directly from me, there's a link below where you can check out that one-on-one coaching application. I appreciate you all watching this far, and I'll see you guys in the next video.